Breaking news. I have just received a text from Dan, who works for Pepsi.
He's bringing us the mystery flavor Voodoo Mountain Dew drink.
Sweet.
Which you'll be hearing in this podcast. You'll hear us talk about.
Yeah.
Just a big yawn. Boy, that's a big yawn. You had a party last night that Obi DJ'd. He's had a long week.
It's so long.
And it's not done with yet.
No, like I'll be lucky to get home tonight by like 8 or 8:30, which to you probably doesn't sound that late.
But to us,
that's late because I was up at 4:15.
So our podcast will have one obviously today. We'll have one tomorrow to finish up the week, but I don't think we're planning on sending one out on Monday because we'll be off for the holiday.
No.
There's nothing.
No,
we're not having any more.
No. I'm not putting one more thing on that list.
Okay, we'll be fine with that.
But I'm holding up fine. Thanks for asking.
So what else in this podcast would we like to highlight?
Let's see. Nikki, there's so much Nikki in this podcast, you wouldn't believe it.
All Nikki's my Disney stuff?
Nikki's a Disney Plus member. Nikki's TV shopping. Nikki needs toilet paper. Stuff like that.
So for the toilet paper thing, it's actually more of it's a Charmin, what do they call it? What's the word for it? The big roll, like what did they call it?
I don't remember.
It's a giant roll of toilet paper.
It's a giant, yeah.
You can only buy it online.
Charmin Forever Roll.
That's it. And everybody's talking about it.
So there's that. Eric wants to get it. Nikki's resistant. And I think that Nikki needs to man up. Well, that's the wrong word.
Person up, please.
Person up doesn't have much power in it. Nikki
it
needs
does.
to.
We're all people.
No.
Why
Nikki
would you take the power away from that? I'll Nikki up.
Now that's powerful. You need to Nikki up.
So listen to the story and tell us if you agree. Should we get it or just anything else you want to add to any in this podcast? You can join us at RadioU Riot on Facebook. You can also always text us, 877-2-RADIO-U. Just put your name, a podcast listener, and it's for the Riot. We probably won't be in the studio. We're not in the studio 24 hours a day. So if you send it to us and we don't respond, we do get it next time we're in the studio. We just might not text you back like at 6 a.m. So we don't want to do that to you.
Do you know where the phrase man up comes from?
What is it? Is it nautical? Everything's always nautical.
No, it's rodeo.
Rodeo?
Like cowboy up. That means that they're up on the bull.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's fascinating. So man up because they only let men do that back then?
I guess. Thing is that, just to be clear, I'm not...
you don't want to do that anyways. You wouldn't have been a man up then.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't... I would not have what it takes
to be a cowboy.
To do that, yeah. So,
well, thanks for listening to the podcast today. We hope as we're gearing up to, a long holiday weekend, hopefully you'll get some time off too.
Boy, I hope Cowboy Up didn't just lie, or the internet didn't lie to me about that phrase. I'm sure that's what it means.
I'm sure if not, someone will tell us.
Nikki, let's just stay here and talk into the intro for the rest of the day.
Let's say goodbye.
Because when you hit stop, you and I aren't friends anymore.
We
you go
are.
away. And then I'm alone until the show starts again.
We're actually going to go do 2 meetings together after this. We're not separating at all.
That's worse than being alone.
I only see you in meetings.
All right, it's the Riot.
Bye.
The definition of insanity is putting the riot on again and again and expecting a better result. It's the worst of the Riot on RadioU.
Nikki, we only have 64 days
until
Mountain Dew Voo Dew goes back into the vault.
There, it's almost done.
I'm not even lying. I'm looking at their website right now, and they have a countdown for Mountain Dew Voo Dew.
So Mike just texted us. He's in Florida. He's tried it.
Do the Voo.
Listen, you don't have to say every catchphrase that they have for this drink.
I'm just working on it.
So it is a mystery flavor.
Yeah. The only mystery is, why are they still unveiling new Mountain Dew flavors? And the answer is, we'll buy them.
So Mike said it tastes like Skittles and cotton candy. Some say it's like candy corn, but not quite. So like maybe everybody always thinks mystery flavors taste like Airhead candies.
Dude, I'll tell you right now, Mike, if it tastes like candy corn...
And you're thinking Skittles?
They have committed a sin against God and nature and their fellow man.
So I guess we'll have to try it eventually, since we have how many days till it goes back in the coffin?
64 days. You said coffin.
Well, it matches,
It totally does. 64 days, Nikki.
64 days. Well, we'll take a look for it.
Voodoo is a devilishly delicious new mystery flavor to help you get into the spirit of Halloween early. Woo! They're spooking. So there it is.
Thanks.
Who am I to throw stones? We're going to drink it. Mystery flavor. The only mystery is why do they keep making
Okay, now this is not a stand-up routine.
It's not? Well, because they say, the thing is, though, they say it's the rule of threes.
You got to do one more joke?
It would have been the third joke where
right,
it would have really... No, I don't have the third one yet. I needed to go for a while to develop that while we were
to get it?
sitting here, yeah.
Okay, well, if one more comes up, then that's all we're going to do joke-wise.
We're done.
So that is the Mountain Dew Voo Dew mystery flavor.
The only mystery...
Have they done one before? Is this another... do they do this each year? Or?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, I don't remember it, but my brain is so full of sugar and other artificial chemicals
and
from
random,
Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
I have no idea. It's fine.
Well, if anybody sees it, let us know where, and we'll do an upcoming Riot food fight with it.
Yum. The juice of the zombie.
Is that your last joke?
No.
Is that the third one?
Just forget it.
The whining, the loathing, the insightful commentary on postmodern historical doctrine. Okay, maybe not the last one. You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
I gotta tell you what, guys. If we wanted to, I could very easily turn The Riot into nothing but a Disney podcast.
There's a lot that they're pushing out, especially as you get closer to Disney Plus.
I'm kind of amazed by it, and I shouldn't be, because obviously the people at Disney know how to play the media. Like, they know how to make it work, but they manage to put out just enough information every day to keep themselves in the news cycle
stringing
every
along
day. And that is nothing but free publicity for them. They're just like, oh, and here's a little piece of information. Well, let's mention them again. But
I think
let's mention them again.
because coming off their expo and stuff, they have a lot of news.
It's driving me nuts. Are you okay?
I can't stop coughing lately.
Well, you know what?
It's driving me crazy.
Well, here's what we're going to do.
It's just terrible.
You know what? You don't even know what I want to talk about, but it all ties in. I'm just talking
terrible.
about. I want to talk about Disney and extremely sick.
I'm just like, I feel water on me.
You did. You totally did. You know what? This is great. Let's take a minute and we come back. I finally
It doesn't help. If you give me a minute, it doesn't help. I got to cough all the time lately.
Well, I don't know about that, but I have a piece of news that Disney probably doesn't want out there.
Okay.
And I feel like all the free publicity that they're eating up everywhere, maybe we can finally give them a little something back.
Okay, well, you can talk about that.
Yeah. So that's on the way. And then I suppose at some point, probably the
more
good
Disney
piece of Disney news.
More Disney news later, too.
Yeah, whatever. I'm sorry. We're sorry. Oh, and hey, if you have tattoos, bad news. Got bad news for tattoo havers.
With Disney or just something else?
No, this is something
else. Something else, okay.
We can do a whole morning of bad news.
Theme day.
If it's louder than it has to be and way worse than it has any right to be, it must be the worst of the riot. On Radio U.
Walt Disney World claims to be the happiest place on Earth, but it turned out to be the unhappiest place for these four individuals.
Well, what happened?
We've got four people that are suing Disney. They were staying at the Polynesian Village.
Okay.
So, Nikki, if you stay at the Polynesian Village, you can take the monorail into Disney World.
Yes, you can. So we're talking Orlando.
Fancy. So they went to the, make your own wrap bar there at the buffet at the Polynesian Resort. So they made themselves a lettuce wrap with all the yummy trappings that we...
Can I guess then? What's in the lettuce wrap?
What's in the wrap?
What's in the wrap, Obi?
You tell me, Nikki.
Maybe a bug or something?
Oh, they're saying like it's way more than like
I mean, because sometimes with lettuce wraps, you have to be careful. You need to wash the lettuce.
Okay. Well, let me tell you what she says. The lawsuit alleges that this lady felt something crawling inside her mouth and removed what appeared to be a small green bug that had legs and was moving.
Ooh, that's a lot of bugs.
By this point, she had already consumed multiple lettuce wraps and later was extremely sick, needing multiple emergency room visits.
Really? That bad?
Yes.
What was the bugs?
I don't know. They took photos, and the lawsuit claims that they have suffered loss of capacity for the enjoyment of life.
Actually, no. That's just because you went to Disney, so you know. It's such a stressful time.
Loss of earnings and medical expenses, including hospitalization. They also say they've been left with permanent injuries.
Aw, well,
but
when you read this, though, if they're going for, they said they're suing for over $15,000.
That's all?
That actually sounds reasonable. And sometimes that's how you can tell when someone's suing a company.
Yeah.
Because normally it'd be like, we're suing Disney for $15 million.
Billion!
Not $15,000.
I know.
So,
well, that sounds like an actual claim.
It does.
The low numbers makes me go...
It actually seems like, hey, this really happened to you. Your vacation was probably ruined. You don't want to eat lettuce anymore. You had to go to the ER or the hospital. So, yeah, $15,000.
Man, I'd start at $15,000 and be like, you know what? Screw it. Pain and suffering. $150,000.
That's more along the lines of what we expected to hear.
That's really something. So that actually, again, that's a good call. Like $15,000 feels real.
Usually a sign that maybe they did go through a lot and there was a mistake made. And they can get money back.
It feels more damaging than a way bigger lawsuit.
Sure. So I wonder, I'm surprised Disney wouldn't have been like settling out. I don't know if they do that often.
Why wouldn't they just settle out of court? Or it could be that these people are like, you're going to court for this.
I don't know.
If they're suing for $15,000, it may not be, but it might not be about the money for them. They may actually want to stick it to them.
Yeah, but then it'd be $15,000 also of like lawyer fees.
They're obviously rich. They went to Disney World and stayed at the Polynesian.
I mean, they were having the wrap buffet.
Who can afford that?
I don't know. I mean, these are impressive people.
Well,
too bad for them. No one wants to eat a bug. No one does.
We ate a bug right here in this room last year.
We didn't want to.
No, that's true,
We didn't want to at all. It was just it was a fundraiser thing.
Yeah, to raise money for RadioU.
And we
it
were
didn't
prepared.
Raise $15,000.
We were prepared. They were dried out, and we dipped them in sauce. This, you weren't expecting it, and they're in your lettuce wrap.
There's probably dressing on it.
Hey, so what do you think of Obadiah?
The truth is, he's not a very nice person.
Okay, well, what about Nikki?
The very best there is.
You're listening to The Riot on RadioU.
I'm sure we were all up early in the gym lifting the weights this morning, right? Because we want to feel good, we want to look good, we want to be good, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, with everybody getting ready for the extra long holiday weekend, I'm sure that's exactly what they were doing.
Man, I've been paying extra for a personal trainer, only to discover I didn't need one, Nikki.
Ooh, you could do it yourself.
So get a load of this. There's a study in which they've done, which this was done at Ghent University, but I can see this at some point turning into some tech that you'll end up using. So here's what they did. They took a group of 31 amateur weightlifters.
Yeah.
That's me.
Yeah, you fit in that category.
And they monitored their form during a deadlift. A deadlift is basically where you've got a bar on the floor with some weights, and you pick it up and stand straight up, essentially.
Is that the one then they drop it down and they're like,
Yep.
Because you're really trying to do a lot of weight.
You don't have to do it that way.
You usually see people do it that way, but it doesn't have to be that way.
Square your shoulders, tighten up your core, keep your back straight. Your back should be in a neutral position. Let your legs do the lifting, something like that. And so what they found is that, okay, you're listening to music while you're in the gym, right? So they've designed this electrical system that if your form gets bad, like if it starts messing up, instead of having a personal trainer there yelling at you, this device, and again, it's not like a commercial product, but it starts to mess up the music. So like as you're doing it and you're doing it wrong, the music will slow down. It'll get warped.
Until you go back to the right spot.
It's an audio cue that tells you that you're doing it wrong or that you're supposed to keep going. So like they said they also did it where like if you were slowing down or whatever, the music starts to whatever. And so it's just a heads up to you like, hey, you're slowing down. Hey, you're doing it wrong. Hey. And they say that it was enough
to keep them on form.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a bad idea. I mean, I assume you have to wear something then.
I don't.
How else would it know the form?
I don't know. Like, I don't know exactly how it worked.
Unless it just assumes. It assumes that you're not doing the right form.
This here it says, although a long way off from being on the market, the music-based system could be used for home workouts. So they say that it could be excellent for teaching technique. What I don't know is, was it something they wore? Do you have to set up a camera and there's something you wear? Because, I mean, like, proper form is complicated. Man, I got these crooked arms. Like, I'd probably never be able to use that thing.
I think it'd be kind of hard to see how it would judge your form, but it'd be interesting in finding out.
But, I mean, you can right now, I don't know that they've used it, but Microsoft's Kinect, the thing that used to come with the Xbox, that was something that
you remember that? That used to be a thing.
That was the thing. And I was amazed at how it would look at my body, and it would straight up show like all the different points on your body, your hands, your arms, and it could be used to, it tracked form for exercises. Like I had a Nike Plus workout app or whatever that worked with the Kinect. And like, I don't know. I felt like, again, could have just been my crooked arms. Maybe the room wasn't lit well enough, but it never got it right.
Well, it'd be interesting if it was ever built in the machines, too. That would be really nice.
Yeah. So that's where they're at.
If you like working out on your own, but you want to make sure you have the proper form, this could be something that helps down the road.
All right. So now I finally found a picture of the system.
Is it a vest or something?
You know what it looks like? Do you know it looks like a pared down version of, when you see like them doing motion capture and they've got the little ball things all over them.
On the outfit?
It's like that, but they're very small. So
you'd have to wear a certain outfit.
You know what, Nikki? It's a work in progress. But the important thing is music can help us all work out.
One day, a heroic time traveler will go back in time to make sure none of this ever happens. Until then, it's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
I don't know if you guys saw this over the weekend, but Cassandra Ayala, 32 years old, went on over to the car dealership and started thinking about getting herself something nice.
That's good.
A little something to get around in.
Getting a car.
A Kia Optima, 2016.
Sounds optimal, doesn't it?
Well, it's not super fancy, but it'll get you there.
Oh, my gosh. Kia is the only place where, and I just don't think the guy got it, but when we were looking for a car, Eric was, trying and testing out ones.
Yeah.
And Eric's pretty tall, and so when he got in this Kia, his head, wouldn't fit. He was just too tall for it.
Yeah.
And the guy was like, oh, no, I think it'll be fine. It was just trying to make a sale, and they're like, literally doesn't fit in this car.
Well, that's one of those things where they need to train a salesman on what to do with that one.
Like you need to find another thing to try to push at us, but the guy was just clueless.
That's too
just
bad.
I don't think it's going to work. He can't get his head to be straight.
Maybe he was pretending to be clueless because on the inside, he was freaking out.
Oh, yeah. He's like, I've never had this happen before.
What am I supposed to do? I don't know what to do. He won't get in. He can't get in. He won't fit. Oh, my gosh, what am I supposed to do?
He's like, it's okay. You could just push the chair back more. I was like, already all the way back. It's like, it's just a small car.
Wow. Eric's, I guess he's like 2 or 3 inches taller than me, which would be enough.
Yeah, he's 6'3", 6'4", isn't he?
Yeah, so that's, I don't know.
Yeah, I should know. I think 6'4".
He's your man.
Well, he's too tall.
Maybe he is 4 inches taller than me. He is taller than I am for sure. So, okay, where were we?
At a Kia dealership.
We are at a Kia dealership where Cassandra is taking this Optima out for a test drive. And then it's her and some guy she brought with her and the salesman. And that's when things get crazy because she refuses to go back to the dealership.
Well, once you fall in love, how can you take the car back?
Then it gets weird, but she is now officially accused of kidnapping the car salesman.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, poor guy.
It gets crazier than that. So the guy made her pull over and was like, I don't want anything to do with this, and jumped out of the car.
Yeah.
She takes off, and it ends up in a police chase where the police have to crash the car.
The poor car.
To get, she's, just to be clear, she did end up having to buy the Optima. It is a break it, you bought it kind of circumstance.
Well, when you take it out and you're stealing it, yeah, you're in trouble.
Do you think that you could, be a car salesman after that? Like, after you've gotten in the car with somebody who has taken off, won't let you out, all this stuff.
Pretty much kidnapped you.
Yeah, like, do you think that you could be a car salesman after that?
I don't know. I mean, have you ever gone on a ride with a car salesman?
Yeah.
They're always just pretty nervous anyways. Or if you leave your stuff, depending on the dealership, sometimes they let you take it, but you got to leave all your
info.
Yeah, your info and like a credit card, your previous car, all that stuff.
Yeah, in some ways that sounds safer though. I've told you this before, but when I sold my old CRV, I sold it on Craigslist, and a lady wanted to test drive it, so I rode with her, and it was terrifying because we were at a 35 and she just slammed on the accelerator, and I mean,
with you in the car,
she almost got to 90, and I was like, hey, this is a 35, and she's like, well, I need to know if the car can actually handle accelerating, and I'm just like, you know what? I don't know you. I have gotten into a car with you. Yes, it's my car,
here?
But you're driving. Like, what was I thinking?
Well, the poor guy.
To let you drive this car with me in it. What am I doing?
Thankfully, he got out before the police chase. It would have been way worse if he was still in the car.
No.
He was in the car during the police chase?
The salesman was in the car. It was her boyfriend or whatever that got out.
Oh, no, okay. I thought the salesman eventually got out. No, he needs to move to a different department at that point. That's too much.
Yeah.
He has a right to be really nervous and scared after that.
One would think so.
Aw, poor guy.
So I assume, you know what, I should have gotten some more details, but I assume that he must have been the one to call the police.
Sure.
Also, she was on meth. So I feel like there's a lot of things we can learn here.
Well, it tends to be where one is on meth and one confuses that it's not your actual car, and you're not supposed to do that.
Wild.
The Riot, not everyone's fan.
I wonder whose idea this was.
RadioU.
Now, what I'm about to say is a very pro-consumer observation, and a lot of people will be like, but what about... I'm just going to tell you from my perspective. So, GameStop is they just had another big wave of layoffs.
Oh, yes, of letting people go.
Because, there was the manager people that, like district managers or something that a few weeks ago, and then I think it was late last week, early this week, a bunch of other people got fired too.
So is everybody saying pretty much the writing's on the wall? It's just when will it happen?
It seems like it. They've been doing massive clearance sales and like all this stuff where it just seems like, oh, that ain't looking so good over there. Now, that being said, some people hate GameStop, some people love it, some people indifferent. I'll just say that having retail places to go and buy games instead of going to the company store down at the coal mine to get your stuff is actually really good for you, the consumer. Here's the example I'm using. So this game came out this week, Control, $60. Most of the time, I can find that game cheaper than that on various locations. But on the PC, it's available in one place and one place only. And when something's only available in one place, guess what? They can charge you whatever they want for it.
They don't need to worry about, you go somewhere else to get it. Because it's just the one location and they're it.
There's no competition. Now, I listened to some people saying like, well, that's good for the developers. They can make their money back. I get it. Like, I understand the idea of wanting sustainability in the industry and all that kind of stuff. I get that. But I will tell you, as a consumer, I'm looking for a deal. Where's the deal?
And the developers, it's not like once they make their money back more, they're going to provide a lower cost product to you.
Yeah.
They're still just going to charge and maybe even charge more because they know they can get it.
I'm just saying that this switch to digital could really flip around and hurt big time because everybody's like, just buy it digitally. But now all of a sudden, when there's no longer any options, digital can turn into whatever they want.
Well, I mean, you could have it on digital. They just need to be more digital retailers, but they can really.
But that's the thing.
That.
I'll have to say that's something I don't even get. Like, why have digital retailers when you can just sell it directly? Like, what's the point? Then you charge what you want for it. You sell it to people directly. Like, who cares? Just do what you want. Do what you want, Nikki.
So are you going to get the game or what?
I don't know. Like, I still haven't decided. Here's where I'm at. I've been crazy busy this week. And sometimes when I'm really busy, I can, think, I deserve it. Or do something stupid. Like,
but you
buy
just want
something.
to rent it, right?
Can't find it to rent anywhere.
So you might buy it just to try it.
I might. We'll see.
But you want to get a physical copy so you can sell it because you probably won't.
I can trade it or sell it.
Yeah, because you won't want to keep it.
But if it's digital, oh, no. There won't be any of that. So, this digital future. maybe not all it's cracked up to be.
We're seeing some cracks.
Oh, I feel like
it's hurting Obi's traditional way that he likes to do gaming.
I feel like I'm about to fall in a crevasse.
Things are never as bad as they seem, except when it comes to the riot. Then they're worse. They're always worse. It's the Riot on RadioU.
I mean, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but Nikki and I keep a really close look.
Really tight ship here. Is that not it?
Are you going to mock us now?
No, not us.
Because Nikki and I keep a really close eye. No.
Where's your Christmas song? There it is.
I like this one. That's what I was looking for. On all things Christmas. We all the time. I got a Google alert for Christmas. I just know things.
And you're like, yes, we all have friends that love Christmas. It's not even that. It's just we're willing to think about Christmas the entire year. Yeah. And it physically makes things better sometimes. I don't know why.
This is so dumb, but this is true. I can remember being so stressed out at one point. I was like, I just don't know what to do. What can I do? And I went in my office and locked the door and listened to the Vince Guaraldi Charlie Brown album. And I was
it helps.
It did help. And I was like, don't even knock on this door.
Just everybody leave me alone.
Just leave me alone.
So we're up for all the Christmas stuff. And yeah, we're finally actually going to start getting closer to it.
So Nikki, with you and I, with our big Christmas
spirits,
how did we miss out on Elliot the Littlest Reindeer?
Did it actually go to theaters, or was it a straight to not theaters?
I've never heard of it in my
First
life.
Off, you're one of the only people I know who can yawn while telling a story.
I yawn right
your
now.
Your own story. You can actually yawn while telling your own thing.
It's not because I'm bored.
No, it just comes out.
I'm just yawning. You know, they say it's a lack of oxygen.
Is it?
That's what I heard.
So is it Elliot? What is it?
Elliot, the Littlest Reindeer.
Aww.
And Nikki, it's about a horse that wants to be a reindeer. Because one of Santa's reindeer is retiring and he wants to be on the team. And so he's going to tryouts and he's working hard. And people are like, you'll never do it. You're not a reindeer. But he's going to show the triumph of the horse spirit and how
you too can be a reindeer if you want to.
If a horse believes in itself enough and is willing to work hard, it too can be a reindeer?
I guess. Well, I will say the style of the animation of the movie is not necessarily my style. It looks a little budget for me, but maybe it's good.
By budget, do you mean Budget Ben?
It does look a bit like that, doesn't it?
Little low rent.
It just has that style. It's the lighting. And you're like, it's animation. It's still a lighting thing.
It actually is.
It just all is lit wrong.
But Nikki, it's got the voice of Josh Hutcherson.
No, thank you.
You know who that is?
I'm sure I can look it up.
Samantha Bee.
Nope.
Samantha Bee is also in Underdog, Learning to Drive, and Cooper's Christmas.
Okay. Why are you looking at this thing?
I don't know, but sometimes I just
grab onto something and you just looking at it.
Okay. I just sometimes get fascinated by all the trappings that surround some project that I've never heard of in my life. Mm-hmm. And you're just like, man, these people went in and worked. Like, this was not...
They tried.
But I didn't know anything about it.
Looks like it has 1.5 out of 5-star ratings, so...
Oh, I've got a 4.0 over here.
Yeah, you see how it varies from site to site?
You know what that means, Nikki? We need to find out for ourselves.
We do. Not buying it.
Yeah. Well, what about you and I rent it and have some Christmas cookies later today?
Oh, actually, that doesn't sound great.
That sound fantastic?
Oh, my gosh. Totally do that.
That sounds wonderful.
Just a few cookies, some icing, some decorations.
And, the fact that we know it's a crappy movie going in, it takes all the pressure off.
It does, doesn't it?
We don't have to like it. We don't even have to pay attention. We got to be on our phones the whole time.
We're not even there for really the movie. We're just there to have the Christmas cookies. Yep. And something's on. And, yeah, you can be on your phone and no one will judge you.
Man, I love cookies. Tiger Drive.
So we've gone from we love Christmas to, hey, look at the reindeer movie to now we've ended up, boy, I love Christmas cookies or just cookies in general.
What are you holding up a mirror here?
I just want to analyze what our last couple of minutes were.
Are you trying to make me feel bad about being me?
Or
because
proud.
It's working.
How about proud to be you?
Obadiah and Nikki tried their hardest, and that's what really matters. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
how would you feel about me skipping work for about 80 days?
What are you going to do?
Well, I want to do what Antonio De La Rosa did. He's 50, and he claims to be the first person to ever paddleboard across the Pacific Ocean.
So from California to Hawaii, he said that he paddleboarded that distance. It took 76 days, 5 hours, and 22 minutes to do about 3,000 miles.
Yeah, so my thought is I'm going to accomplish the same feat in about 6 hours.
Yeah, you'll be there in no time.
I'm going to fly from California to Hawaii, in which I will spend the additional 75 days relaxing.
Well, I mean, the thing that he did, though, was the paddleboarding part. When I first read it, I thought, oh, my gosh, how did he make it on a paddleboard?
You and me both.
It's not, it
When
is a
you
paddleboard, but it's not. It's not like our paddleboards that we get.
It's a paddleboard with onboard radar.
Solar panels, a sleeping compartment. Which makes sense. I mean, you would need that to be able to make that trip. He lived on dehydrated food with hot water. He'd bring it back.
Which, we're there right now.
He would fish for fresh foods. He started June 9th in San Francisco, and he ended on Saturday in Honolulu.
Dude. What are you doing?
It's a custom-designed, 24-foot-long stand-up board that he would call the Ocean Defender, and he would do 10 hours a day, and then he would sleep at night, waking up every hour to make sure everything was good.
Waking up every hour?
Yeah,
Nikki,
during the
that
night.
means technically he hasn't been in a deep sleep this entire time.
In a very, very long time. That messes with you.
It really does. So he did it because he said he wanted to raise awareness about mankind's pollution of the ocean,
You're
something.
just throwing that out there, are you?
Well,
so was that the quote?
No, it's not the quote. I wasn't claiming to quote it. Nikki, that's a paraphrase.
He was documenting the series for online videos that he did himself, and this is something that he's known for. He's done other challenges in other parts of other oceans, too.
All right. Well, he's out there making it happen. Not right now. He's done.
He's finished with it. Anybody have any guess? How long did it take him to plan for this trip?
How long?
2 years.
2 years?
2 years to plan for the challenge.
Is that waking up every hour?
For 2 years? No, I just think he's been planning on, what would it take to paddleboard from California to Hawaii. It took 2 years to get it all ready.
Man, you know what? This guy's awesome.
Dedicated.
I want you to know it's Thursday, and I'm like the Walking Dead over here. So...
We can't even plan for the rest of the week, let alone 2 years into it.
So good on this guy, right?
Uncomfortable silences during that morning carpool? Not a problem. These two never shut up. It's the Riot on Radio U.
So, Nikki, last night I was out with the RadioU DJ service.
You were.
I was. We were DJing a back-to-school bash.
Obi's available for parties, weddings. Christmas parties.
Christmas parties in August.
All the fun stuff.
Whatever you got. So, while I was there, they had something that is pretty much the most amazing thing I've ever seen, and I wanted to be a part of it. Actually, that is one thing about being the DJ at parties that sucks. You're not really a guest. And you've already got what you're getting to be there. So, if you go someplace where they have really cool door prizes,
you're not eligible for any of this stuff.
In fact, you're the one that's drawing the names. You got no chance of winning anything.
Every so often you get some cake if the host is like, here, make sure the DJ gets a cake.
I actually did get it a Sunday last night.
Did you?
Was spectacular.
Otherwise, you're there to work, so it's not the same.
That's pretty much where you're at. So what they had, they did a few $50 Amazon gift cards. That right there, I mean, what do you want me to do for that? Because I'm pretty much available to do anything for a $50 Amazon gift card. Okay, there's that. But the other thing they had is they had a cash machine.
What do you mean?
Oh, an ATM? No. I mean like one of those old school things where there's a bunch of money on the floor, and then they start the air thing up, and cash is flying in the air.
Is that allowed?
And you're just grabbing cash?
Kind of like a Chuck E. Cheese. Wasn't there one when you were little, and it was tickets instead?
I guess. But yes, they had one of those, and I was just like...
Did you get to go in?
Well, certainly not.
What's the catch? I mean,
is
it
catch.
Just because you can catch so much money, or?
Yeah, there's no catch. And they'd put $50 in every time they turned the machine on.
But in dollars?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was in coins, and then they turned the air
like $50 bills. Like what sort of current? Like what's the amount they were putting in?
I just love the idea of like we're putting $50 in every time, and they just dump quarters, and they're like, "No, you can't pick it up off the floor. Only what's flying through the air."
And you're like, if something does manage to go get up into air, you're like, "Ow."
No, they would put $51 bills in each time.
Fun.
I saw a guy walk away with $33.
We would like $33.
Kind of amazing. I was just like, man, because I don't know. It was just one of those moments where you're like, I've always wanted to do that.
Well, where can we get a hold of that?
Well, okay.
I did casino, or is that a thing?
I don't know.
Can we put one in the corner here?
Yeah, but the only problem is
it'd be your own money, but at least you're having fun with it.
Right there. It would be like, I'm putting $50 in and I'm getting in the cash machine.
But you
oh my gosh, it's all my money.
You get all 50 out of it.
I feel like it would take some of the fun out of it.
Well, wait, it's only because we haven't tried.
Also a fair point. But man, just watched that whole thing unfold and I was like, man, I just won't be in there. I won't do it.
Well, why don't you Google search cash machine and see if there is one nearby?
No,
I feel it must be like
then,
a lottery thing.
Yeah, then it's like I got to spend how much money to win the chance to go in the cash machine, and I never recoup the amount of money it costs for me to actually get in there, or I have to win a sweepstakes. And here's another thing. If you're a member of the media, you're usually exempt from about every contest on the face of the planet.
You're not allowed to win.
So
basically, you're like, oh, it must be so amazing to be the DJ at the party. But really, you're not allowed to do anything.
Hey, in fairness, I did get an ice cream sundae.
True.
So
never say you didn't get anything nice.
Don't say they don't tip you when you go to parties, because they do.
It's like, did you get to go in the cash machine? No, but I got the sundae.
Hey, that sundae was chocolate ice cream with peanut butter and chocolate syrup.
And $51 bills.
Puppy chow and mini Buckeyes.
On the sundae?
Yeah, there was.
The worst podcast with the best listeners. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Nikki, you know what happens tonight?
Ooh.
College football tonight. If you want to watch some college football.
Breathe it in, guys. The season's finally starting.
So tonight you've actually got games. Clemson, who is currently ranked number 1, playing Georgia Tech tonight. Texas State's going to play Texas A&M. Utah is going to play BYU. And Tulsa is playing Michigan State.
Good.
So that's all happening tonight.
Got a couple of good names.
That Tulsa-Michigan State game's tomorrow. I apologize. The other games are tonight. But Tulsa-Michigan State's tomorrow night.
Then are there games tomorrow? Yeah, so then tomorrow night and then Saturday. I mean, we really start things off.
Well, I'll tell you what. Tomorrow there's Tulsa-Michigan State, Wisconsin, South Florida. And it looks like that's about it. And then Saturday you get into everything else. Ohio State's playing Florida Atlantic.
I asked Eric, I was like, what is that team? But it has one of the coaches from another team. So I think it's one of the old USC coaches.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So I would look into that. But outside of that, I don't know anything else about. He said it was an emerging team. It's a nice way to put it.
Well, you know what? It's one of those things where you always kind of got to say that, like, a team like that's got nothing to lose. So every once in a while,
they could come out.
During these first couple of weeks of college football, there will be this team that will come out and just whoop up on one of these top 10 teams.
It's Lane Kiffin, and it's called...
Shut up!
Yeah,
that's Lane Kiffin's team?
It is. It's the Florida Atlantic Owls.
I have to text my friend Brad. He hates Lane Kiffin.
That's where he went to.
Lane Kiffin coached at Tennessee, which is my friend Brad's favorite team. And Lane Kiffin, halfway through the season, or it wasn't, I think he coached the season and then just left and went to USC. And then while he was at USC, bad. And so, well,
this is where he's landed at.
He has landed. We should call Brad.
Just on the air.
We're just calling me like, Brad, you're not going to believe what's happening.
You just want to wake him up.
On Saturday, Lane Kiffin's team is playing Ohio State.
That's the matchup.
Well, there you go. That's amazing. Yeah. Isn't it weird how certain people just spark like a thought? And like when I think of Brad, he hates Lane Kiffin, and he's the guy that starts Christmas music on Labor Day.
Well, then,
this is his weekend.
This is totally his weekend.
He's
to really get fired up about stuff.
He's going to see Lane Kiffin get whooped. And then that.
And then start Christmas music.
So let's see what else is out there that looks good. Oregon at Auburn, that actually could be a pretty good game. Oregon's ranked 11 now. Auburn's at 16. I don't know. None of the rest of this stuff really looks like a great
matchup
game. But I could be wrong, Nikki. I've been wrong before.
Listen, it's not even about that. It's just about the college football starting, okay?
You know what? Come on.
It's going to get colder out. And you want to just think about the fall.
Nikki, you're right.
I don't care what game's playing. If it's Lane Kiffin or whatever, it doesn't matter. We're just watching college football, and that's what's supposed to be good.
There needs to be snacks. I need to coordinate some snacks.
You can make your cheese thing that you make, your cheese dip.
I should make the cheese. I'd rather have cookies than cheese, but why does it have to be either or?
You can have both.
It could be an and. Cookies and cheese. Okay. All right.
Giving every novelty food the publicity it so blatantly desires. It's The Riot on RadioU.
So, Nikki, tell me about your new TV.
My new TV, I didn't buy one yesterday.
What?
But,
What?
Now wait. We were looking yesterday. There'd been a deal.
Tell me about your butt, Nikki.
There'd been a deal floating around about a 70-inch, what was it, a LED 4K TV?
Uh-huh.
And it was like $700. And
$660 plus a $100 gift card.
You're right, but it was sold out. But that started the ball rolling on well, maybe we're in the market for a new TV. Maybe 70 inches should be what we're shooting for now. But
and
that's turned into 75 inches now.
I was going to say, I started getting these text messages from Nikki where I was like, well, this escalated quickly.
It's like, what TV is that? There were no open boxes. I went to Costco to look for like an open box or a no box, but they didn't have any.
I feel like that has become less of a thing than it used to be. Like,
we need to wait till after football season starts.
Yes.
Because people will buy super big TVs for college football stuff or like the Super Bowl, and then they'll return them a month or so into it.
Mm-hmm.
Then you'll start seeing the open boxes.
Okay. So you're over there. I get this text message. By the time she's done, it's a 75-inch, $2,000 TV. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute.
What's that?
We started at $600. Reasonable.
Well, I mean, if you're close enough to like a better picture, would we want to go big or what?
The price of the TV has more than tripled. There's no gift card coming back.
We haven't got anything, though. But if I wait until next week, they're doing a promotion on QLED.
Yeah.
And so that would
Quantum dot.
Yeah, it'd be a better picture. So we're going to wait and look at them next week when the promotion starts.
How do you know they're doing a promotion?
I got it in the mail. I got a little pamphlet, like a little flyer on it. And that explains why. Remember I told you, I was like, there's this one TV, there's like 50 boxes of them.
Yes.
That's the TV that's on sale starting next week. So that's why there's so many of them.
You were like, these things are everywhere.
Yeah, I was like, why are these stacked so high? Why do we suddenly have such an increase? That's the QLED ones. Maybe. I would get like $300, $350 back on it.
Okay. How do you get it back?
Well, the cash back on your Costco card.
Okay. Shoot, man. I should just buy one.
No, that's not what we're doing.
We should just start buying stuff.
That's not what we're doing.
We've got a Costco card now. Let's just buy stuff.
That's not what we're doing. But maybe next week we're going to look again and we're going to revisit it.
Yeah. Because I'd like to I'll get a new TV. I'd like to get one of those kayaks.
Yeah.
And I also sometimes I like to wander down those aisles. I've looked at new shower head. Listen, don't underestimate a good shower head, And so I was thinking about maybe doing that.
Get one of those.
Maybe a new office chair. I was looking, they had these lazy boy office chairs.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it could be a whole new me.
How about we take the RadioU vehicle and we go and just load
it up? Just to make our dreams come true?
I will say I did look at an 86-inch TV, and that was amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Super good looking.
Listen, I don't care what anybody says, like, what do you need a TV that big for? Why do you want a small TV?
We have a big picture sort of perspective on this world, and we need a big TV to go with it.
I need a TV that's as big as my perspective. That's absurd, and I love it.
But that's the perfect answer back to someone like that who is only looking at things through maybe like a 55-inch or something.
Only a 55-inch. Listen to you.
Well, those were so small compared to 86.
Well, now that's true.
Even though
That's
I'm
true.
still concerned 75 inches might be a bit of a bold statement on the wall, but it'll look good.
But Nikki, you're bold.
Yeah, my living room's bold, so I got to
Well,
have a TV that matches that.
Yeah, then that'll just be something else for the dogs to knock off the wall.
So let's talk about this next week, or if anybody finds any deals over the weekend. I'm looking at 70 or 75 inches.
The Riot has now been downloaded. I hope you installed some antivirus. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
Nikki, now that you're doing everything bigger,
Yeah.
you're going to need a huge toilet paper roll to go with that huge TV.
I saw this thing. What is this? Is it even real?
It's real.
It's amazing.
It's real, Nikki. The Charmin Forever Roll.
Now, normally you guys just maybe listen and it goes in one ear and out the other, but you need to look up the Charmin Forever Roll. It includes this giant toilet paper roll and a holder as well. And it is real then.
It's crazy, dude. It's huge. Okay, think about going to a public bathroom and they have those big rolls of toilet paper. It's that. But it's Charmin, and it's at your house.
And you can have it. You have to order it online.
Nikki, this is perfect for you because why?
Because why? I don't like to change the toilet paper.
That's exactly right.
That's not true anymore. I have a toilet paper holder that it slides on and off. There's no work involved. I changed that. I have no problem with it.
Let me read to you. I'm on Charmin's website. Let's read some of their marketing. Join the community.
Wait,
you guys, I
mark
rolled
some
my
of it.
eyes so hard I can't get them back.
Yeah, but what if it really is, you're a part of the community here.
Join the community of people who are tired of constantly changing toilet paper. Oh my gosh. A community that's united around one common thing, and that's to not change the toilet paper. You get a money-back guarantee. The roll holder is included when you buy 3 rolls, and you can easily return it for any reason.
You can have a freestanding or a wall-mounted in brushed stainless steel roll holder.
Well, brushed stainless steel,
Ooh,
that's
sounds nice. And yes, it's included if you buy. So how long is this toilet paper supposed to last?
They say a 2-person household will go through about one of these a month.
One of them a month?
Mm-hmm. So, and I see that Tiffany has sent us, looks like the Forever Roll is about $9.
Hey, it's funny. It's a very clever idea.
Yeah. So what do you think?
I usually just buy I'm sorry. None of it. We don't use the restroom. No, she's my lady. We don't talk about things like this. It's just quite large. So I don't know if I want to have that in the bathroom. What does a wall-mounted thing look like for that? It's huge.
Oh, my gosh, Eric, this is the big win. Are you ready? Here's what Eric says. We need to order it. Tell her of the Instagram possibilities.
I have seen people using hashtags and stuff with it. They do post photos of it.
All right, wait. You know how sometimes you'll see animals where they've gotten all lost in the toilet paper?
And they're just taking the roll.
Cinnamon sugar Pop-Tarts.
Oh, my gosh.
Playing in all that toilet paper.
I feel an ad coming.
And then it becomes a
Charmin
business
will
expense.
Want them. Yeah, Charmin will want them for their promotional ad.
It's perfect, right?
Well, that's a very clever idea, but why don't you get it? Why don't you have it?
Oh, no. I couldn't.
Don't want to order it?
I couldn't have that. No. Mike says
is it too much?
That would work if you had one bathroom. Barb, yes. Barb says Taco Bell should get these.
They already have industrial size sort of toilet paper rolls. This is exactly like what you would get at a restaurant in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Just so that they're not changing it so often.
Right. It's, I think I just see you going to Taco Bell, coming home, you put some water bottles in the bathroom, you put down the plastic, and you're like, oh no, what if I run out? And that question stops. That's what I see.
It's actually pretty reasonably priced for the Charmin Ultra Roll, which, again, you can get online if you are interested.
Mm-hmm.
And if anybody gets it, let us know.
Oh, Eric.
Don't have plans for us to get this.
Oh, no. Okay, the thing is, though, Nikki, do you need plans if Eric has plans? No, he'll just go ahead and get it.
He just wants to buy it.
I think you guys should get it.
Why does it always have to be us? Can't someone else here get it?
Then I'll come to the party tomorrow night and use it.
You're listening to a morning show hosted by two people who absolutely despise getting up in the morning.
Will you give me a break one time?
The Riot, Radio U.
So it's not even out yet, and Nikki has subscribed to Disney Plus for 3 years.
I did. I'm that confident. And I love a good deal, right? I'm not the only one.
I gotta have something. Have something to watch on that big TV.
I have to have some content. Has anybody else did the Disney Plus thing? Because I'm sure I'm not the only one.
So
3 years. I saved some money. I signed up. I would have paid anyways. That's where we've landed.
Mm-hmm. So how much did you save?
What was it like? How much was it? 150? 140? I saved it because, it doesn't start until November.
I saved it because savings.
I was like, I should start my information on this. I paid $151.54.
Okay, and that's for 3 years.
3 year subscription.
So that's...
And I think if I would not have, it was like $220 or $230.
Okay, man, look, like you're saving by spending.
Then I can take that money and funnel it back into the new TV that I want, right?
Oh, my gosh. My eyes rolled all the way around their world tour.
Me too.
They're just passing Australia now.
And they're back around.
Okay. Well,
are you going to do it? Or
you know what? I don't think so.
You backed off. I thought we were doing this together.
I know. And we were just like, whatever. I'm sorry. I'm not reliable.
You're the one who started it. You're the one who sent me the information.
I did.
And then you leave me hanging out there.
Are you sorry I sent the information?
No, I probably would have done it anyways.
Yeah, I kind of figured. I don't know. Like, I kind of want to see it first. And I have the freedom to unsubscribe if I want to and different things like that.
Don't you want to not have to worry about renewing something until, here's my date, November 12th, 2022.
Nikki, we're not going to be alive then.
I don't know if we will be.
The whole place is going up. Like, we're losing it.
No, I'm committed. I have to still, I want to make it to 2022.
You're buying a subscription on the Titanic. The thing's going down. It's going down.
So that's the Disney Plus thing that's been going around. They had it at their expo.
The D23.
People could sign up for this deal at their expo. They had kiosks and stuff. And then they offered it to people online if you were a Disney, what's the word for it? A Disney...
Insider, pluser,
member something.
But they try to make it look like you have to pay $130 to be a part of that club.
Yeah, but
and
you
if
don't.
You scroll all the way to the bottom, like in gray and very small text. It's like, just be a general member.
Yeah. So Catherine said, do I have a D23 code which is the Disney Expo? You don't need a code. You need to be a general
D23 general member is what they call it.
Which is free. So if you sign up for that, you give it a couple of days, you go back into your account.
And it shows up.
Then you have to search for it. You go into my account and then you go down a couple, you'll see the offer in one of the drop-down menus if you click on it, and then you can sign up for it.
So D23 is the official Disney fan club.
Mm-hmm. I guess I'm in that now.
That's you, Nikki.
That's me.
You are an official Disney fan.
If you need more help, just let me know. But I'm signed up for 3 years.
Nikki will help you.
Whee!
She knows what you're doing.
And I thought we were doing it together, so.
I mean, we're still friends. We're having fun.
It's fine. I actually don't mind.
If you're looking for all the funny moments you missed during the riot, we apologize. You won't find them here. There weren't any. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
It's called techno stress. I suffer from it. What is it? I'll give you a checklist. Here's what techno stress looks like. Feeling that social media is invading your life. That's techno stress.
Okay.
Experiencing excessive social demands
That's
via
techno
social
stress?
media. Techno stress. Being inundated with too much information. Techno stress. Feeling a need to change how you use social media to conform with your friends. Techno stress. And finally, adapting to frequent changes in the social networking site itself. So you're like, man, they always changing it. I don't know how it works.
Just not being able to follow along with it.
Yeah, so techno stress.
Why do they call it techno stress?
Well, because they're doing a study on social media, and they had to define it before they could show its effects. This, to me, is interesting. And, okay, sample size, 444 people.
Not the biggest.
But it's something. This is at Lancaster University. What they did was they watched 444 Facebook users and talked to them about their stress, defined stress. They said when it was stressful. And here's what they found. The more social media stresses you, the more likely you are to not only continue using it, but to use it more.
Really?
Isn't
I wonder why.
They said that they actually...
It's like the I can't quit you even though it bothers you.
They say that it actually fuels the cycle of addiction. The stress that you feel pushes you further into it, which is crazy.
So in case you ever feel like you hate it so much, but you were always on it, that's actually psychologically something going on.
Something's happening there, and you're actually becoming more dependent on it than if you didn't really care about it. So here's one of the things that they found about it, that you... what you'll do is you'll switch activities. So let's say that you're on Messenger and somebody says something or like something happens or whatever, and through your messages, it stresses you out. Instead of leaving it all together, you'll just switch activities. And so you'll start doing something else on the social media platform, like scrolling or playing a game or something.
Where you really need to take a break from just
you really
all
need
of that.
all out. Yeah.
But instead you keep going with it.
And you just change activities on the social platform.
Well, I guess it just makes you stop. If you feel that way and you're like, I'm not taking an actual break from it, maybe you do need to step back.
You just need to take a whittle break.
Yeah, because you could think just switching, I'm going over to Instagram or I'm going over to check tweets. Like, it's not actually going to give you the break you need because you're still doing social media. Weird. And it's techno what?
They're calling it techno stress.
Techno stress.
So I don't know. I didn't do the research, but I know this. I have a social media problem. It stresses me out. It does. Like, it really messes with me. I have to have breaks. I have to make myself take breaks because I'll default to it if I'm not careful. I don't know. It has not been, it's like everything else. Like, in some ways it's been great for me. I really enjoy it. And then in other ways it's terrible
bothers.
For me.
Well, Chase wants you to send him the link. He just texted. So send him the link to the social media thing.
Is this guy for real?
Why? You guys can ask for links anytime we talk about an article or a story.
I gotta drop what I'm doing and get stuff to Chase?
Copy and paste it, just one thing.
Man, do you want to talk about some techno stress?
That's bothering you more.
This was the worst of the riot, and we'd like to congratulate you on having the stomach to stick around to the very end. The riot exists because RadioU exists, and RadioU only exists because of your support. Find out more and give now at RadioU.com/donate.
Join the community of people who are tired of constantly changing toilet paper.